yeah, sometimes I just think like, you know, like there's spirits around me somehow. And I've got to protect myself, you know, like I've got to, you know, keep myself safe from them, you know, the outside world in a way, you know, protect myself,
Yeah.
you know, because you only want to meet people that are nice in a kind of way, you know, that are, you know, like yourself in a kind of way.
Yeah.
You don't want to meet people that are going to ruin your life,
Yeah.
you know, or try to ruin your life, you know. I've had a few people like that in my life, honestly, yeah, that want to ruin my life, want to take everything away from me.
Yeah.
You know, and all I'm trying to do is be a lovely, beautiful spirit, right? Yeah, and they want to take everything away from beautiful spirits. Sometimes these nasty people, do you know what I mean? And that's what you've got to protect yourself from, really. You know?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think, anyway. You know, and like I say, this is quite a spiritual world. Do you know what I mean? It's a spiritual war going on out there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and you know, I'm hoping that. You know, like I mean, like lots of people have got resentment in them, yeah, and I have too a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like because I had a really terrible schooling, whatever, yeah, and you know, like I might have said before, but in my first day at school, teacher dragged me in the cupboard, locked me up, right, whatever. Next day I was in there, whatever, you know, and it built a little bit of an anger up in me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and then it kind of ruined my school a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Where my brother was doing quite well, you know, and he got a really good job, whatever. But it spiritually ruined me.
Yeah.
Yeah, spiritually ruined me, and you know they don't just do it to me, do they? You know, I'm not just sort of like I'm just talking about my story, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself or anything because it did make me feel strong.
Yeah.
It made me strong. You know, so it did me quite good in a kind of way. You know, it made me a bit stronger than all the other children. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I started using, you know, my spirit a bit more. I had to wake up and, you know, start thinking for myself a bit in this world that, you know, that I didn't know, you know, much about at that age, obviously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people, you know, being locked up in a cupboard basically for, you know, you know, quite a lot of days basically, you build up a resentment inside you, you know, like, you know, like. And I think a lot of people, you know, get violated left, right, and centre in this world for whatever reason, or even told to sort of sit on a chair, you know, and do this for 10 hours, or do lines and things like that. It is spiritually making them rebel. Do you know what I mean? And it's not, you know, it's an anger that builds up in people, I personally think, you know, and I think a lot of people get violated in this world, you know, and they get this, you know, like, they carry this resentment all their life about something that's happened in their life, you know, and you can't really get rid of it, you know, you've got to carry it all the rest of your life in a funny way, you know, something that's happened to you as a child, you know, in one way or whatever. You've got to carry it. You can't, you know, you just can't get rid of it, you know. And it kind of, you know, like, you know, I locked up in the cupboard, for instance. So then I come out and I can't read, you know, or whatever, you know. It affects your whole life.
Yeah.
You know, spiritually, it makes your life a lot spiritually harder. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Where my brother left and he had it quite nice, you know. It was a bit more of a dream for him, you know, and my younger brother, you know, where they didn't get locked up in a cupboard, you know. But yeah, spirit world.
Yeah, it's very interesting, mate. You know, it's sometimes people's like, you know, sometimes it's hard to grasp other people's beliefs sometimes, you know, as human beings, you know, because sometimes we have our own beliefs and people get caught up in in their own beliefs. They find it hard to grasp other people's beliefs, you know, but I think it's all about being open-minded.
Let go.
Yeah, being open-minded and just being open to dialogue, you know, peaceful dialogue and debate, you know. We you know, we're all free to have a good conversation and free to share our opinions and our beliefs with each other and whatever the case may be, and knowledge and etc. But we just got to learn to respect each other's opinions, you know, and and you know, we can agree to disagree. You know, because it's not that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, people should just be free to be human beings, and you know. You know, whatever they want to, whatever they choose to subscribe to, they should be able to subscribe to. You know, so yeah, you know.
I think they're like little businesses myself.
Yeah.
All these things, you know, and you know, like say, I think you just got to be open spiritually. I personally think, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, like your imagination itself. You know, you can believe in whatever you want to, or believe in whatever gods you want. The imagination is such a magical thing and amazing.
You can create whatever.
It's an incredible machine. We've got the most incredible machine ever.
Yeah. Because don't forget, people, your thoughts, yeah, and your actions and your words are what creates and define your reality. And it usually usually defines what you are able to manifest in life, if you see what I mean, you know. So yeah, you know, your thoughts, your actions, and your words. Those three things are what create your life, essentially. You know, what your thoughts, your ideas, your, you know, beliefs, etc. You know, so yeah.
I think you got to be in love with your own spirit.
Oh, for sure, you got you got to
You've got to be in love with it all, you know,
Yeah.
in love with your own self. You
That's
know?
why I think knowledge is so important too, because knowledge kind of feeds your soul, if you see what I mean, you know. Something quite spiritual about knowledge, where the more knowledge you gain, sometimes, like, well, in certain respects, you feel even more spiritual, in a sense, yeah, deeper understanding, if you see what I mean, on a spiritual level, you know. It's, you know, so I think knowledge is very important in that aspect.
It can be,
you know?
I think it's more useful.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I personally think, you know, like the imagination is the clever thing. You know, the more you use that, the more bigger it will get, whatever, and more intelligent it will get. You know, like say, the more knowledge you know, yeah, like, you know, like you might know every fish, and I might know every bird, yeah. And then we share our knowledge, you know.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking on like, even on that level, like, excuse me, just on a like spiritual level, like, you know, the deeper, the more you study spirituality and everything that else that comes along with that, you know, I think it gives people a deeper understanding of life.
Of course it does.
And a greater and deeper perspective on things, you know, usually opens up their mind a bit, you know, and, you know, changes kind of the way they think sometimes, you see what I mean, you know.
I think like me and you, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've always got on, haven't we, spiritually? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've got
facts.
the same sort of, I don't know, like, what do you call it, wavelength? We're on the same wavelength, you know?
Yeah.
And
just on a chilled, cool,
yeah,
just
like
chill,
me and Josh,
cool vibe, just...
Every, you know, like a number of years we've met, whatever, we've never argued. You know what I mean? We're just peaceful people.
Never had an argument.
Like, sometimes Josh is right, sometimes, you know, we like to learn.
But even, but most of the time we'll agree. But even when we agree to disagree and we have different opinions on things, which is absolutely fine, because we're all human, we're all individuals, and that's fine.
We're all learning.
It will be peaceful. I'll say, okay, mate, that's fine, but I agree to disagree, and that's it. We call it a day. You know what I mean? There's no like argument or fight or, you know, God forbid, something worse. You know what I mean?
Thing,
like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no need for that shit. Like, you know.
The worst thing.
Learn to accept people for who they are, and if you don't like them, then just stay away from them and keep your distance. And if you love them, and you know, then keep them close and cherish them and treat them with love and respect, and etc. But anyone that you don't feel right around, or you don't like their energy, or you don't like their actions, or who they are as a person, then just keep your distance.
That's why I think the eyes...
And stay within your circle, and protect, you know what I mean, protect your circle. You know?
That's why I think the eyes and the ears are so important, because you can sort of see in the street, when you're walking down the street, and try to, you know, you can analyse people by looking at them and by the way, you know, like quite quickly.
Yeah.
You can sometimes analyse what age they are even, you know,
Yeah.
just by, I can personally, you know, by just looking at them for a few seconds, sort of work out how old they are a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might be a bit wrong,
Mm.
but I'm pretty good at that, you know, like guessing people's age.
Yeah.
But you can analyse them by the way they dress a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people.
Mm.
You can analyse them by the way they behave, you know, if they're swearing, for instance, and things like that, you know, or throwing bottles down, or,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
So you can sort of see that you don't want to sort of like be with those people because you're not like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you know you've got to sort of.
You keep your distance.
Well, you've got to, you know, they say that spiritually, like people connect to their own spiritual sort of levels. Like some people are quite wealthy and they group together, you know, in their own club.
Yeah.
You know, then other, you know, we all kind of club up to our own.
People on the same frequency. It's just a frequency thing.
Yeah.
The people that are on the same frequency and the same kind of like vibration and same kind of wavelength. You like you said, like that old saying, mate. Going back to, you know, like my old sayings. It's that old saying of birds of a feather flock together.
That's right.
And there's quite a lot of truth to that. Not saying that that applies to everyone or everything, but there's a lot of truth to that. If you see what I mean, you know. So, like you said, like-minded people usually tend to be together in the same kind of circles, same kind of friends, same kind of environment, same kind of settings, same kind of etc. You know.
Same kind of understanding.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But some people haven't been brought up properly or whatever, or never been loved or whatever, you know, and they're spiritually quite nasty spirits. Some people, you know, they're quite.
But sometimes you can't even blame them, mate. Sometimes you can't even. Some people, right, mate? You cannot, like, some people have experienced so much trauma in their life that some people sometimes you just can't even blame them, mate. When you've heard their story and what they've endured in their life and what they've been through, and psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically, sometimes, unfortunately, sexual abuse too, and all these kind of things. Like some people, it's terrible, mate. Sometimes, like, some people out there that, you know, a lot of people out there that learn to overcome these things as they get older, learn to live with it and overcome it and put it in their past, and are able to move on with their lives and be happy with someone else, or, you know, be able to be normal in a relationship because they've, you know, if you see what I mean, without all that baggage, because they've learned to overcome it, you know what I mean. They're not bringing all that excess baggage to their next relationship, if you see what I mean, you know, so that, you know, they're able to be happy. But yeah.
It's like me, you know, my little story, you know, and I think we've all got a story, right, whatever, yeah. But me, locked up in the cupboard on my first day, you know.
Yeah.
What world are we living in, for goodness sake, do you know what I mean? It's crazy, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's so sad, you know. You know, if anyone else has got any stories, you know, just sort of what they, you know, just leave a comment, you know.
Yeah.
It's
sad.
Please, I think we're living in a wicked world, because like even, you know, so let's take my mum, yeah. When she was a little girl, right, they used to be really strict with her at school, you know, do you know what I mean? And my dad was in boarding schools, right, or whatever, you know, and he had a really rough upbringing, you know.
Yeah.
And then he turned to drink when he was 16, you know what I mean, yeah. Like a lot of lads did at that day, you know, and you think, hang on, what's going on here, you know. So I got a drunk dad already, do you know what I mean, drinking.
Yeah.
Right, and wonder why I'm like I am, you know, like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because then you look at his mum, you know, or my mum's mum, you know, they had it rough too. You know, it's just a disease that's going on, you know, we're not being careful by the authorities above, really, you know, they're like treating us like farm animals, like you say, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we're just like animals. Almost.
Well, the thing is that there's so many people out there, mate, that have been through so much trauma, and not everyone is strong enough to deal with it, mate. You know, there's some people that are, and there's some people that aren't. You know what I mean? There's not. You know, there's, you know, not everyone is made the same. Not everyone is as strong as other people. If you see what I mean. Some people end up doing, you know, unfortunately sad things like committing suicide and other things because they're unable to cope and stuff like this, you know. But you know, all the people that, you know, do remain strong and are able to overcome all their past, previous trauma in their lives, and were able to move on with their lives and able to have happy, successful lives and relationships in their life, and were able to overcome that kind of trauma, then kudos to you. You get me? Because it takes a lot. Especially if you've been through a lot of trauma in life. You know, you managed to overcome that shit and rise above it, and were able to overcome the odds, as they would say. So yeah, kudos.
The thing is,
a big shout out to you guys out there that have overcome your trauma and been able to still be successful in your life in different ways. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, a bit psychological. I can't say the word.
Psychological.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What don't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a famous quote.
But not always. Not always, though, mate. Not always. I used to always say that too. But when I really sat down and really thought about it one day and studied it, I was like, you know what? That applies to a lot of people, like myself and yourself and other people who have been through a lot of shit in life, but have overcome it and are good people today and on the right path, heading in the right direction, focused in life, and got the right ideas and the right mindset and the positive attitude and positive, just on a right frequency, if you see what I mean, on a peaceful, loving, spiritual frequency. So yeah.
So I mean, I've had a very difficult life. I'll be honest with you, I really have. But at the same time, I've had a good life. Funny enough, you know, it's quite strange.
But what I was going to say,
quite amazing life actually,
is what doesn't kill. When you said what doesn't kill you doesn't make you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
For some people that doesn't apply, because even though it might not be killing them, they're still suffering.
Yes.
And sometimes they suffer for years on end.
Yeah, but I think the suffering makes them stronger, right?
Not always. Sometimes people end up having mental breakdowns.
Yeah, I know that.
And spiraling out of control and getting into deep states of depression, unfortunately, and dealing with other stuff, anxiety.
This is it. This
shit.
is what people need to know. They just got to be strong. You know.
Yes, you got to be strong.
Here we go.
Yeah.
A song break.
Yeah, Sizzler Kalungi. Big up to Sis. You know, you ever heard of Sizzler Kalungi?
No.
He's a Jamaican artist, bro. Legend, absolute legend. He had a song saying, "Yes, you got to be strong and do all the best you can."
Yeah. Like, whilst the world is going mad, which it is, yeah. You got to keep, you know, it's not yourself. You know, you've got to make sure you don't go mad, all right? Whilst the world's going mad around you.
It's true though, mate. That's so true. You got to try and keep your sanity intact in this world, yeah.
I mean, there's a spiritual war going out there, yeah.
Big facts.
Right, and you've got to really sort of hide away from it.
You got to protect your energy.
Yeah.
And keep your eyes open and stay away from the enemy. You get me?
Yeah.
I'm just being daft, but you get me.
Yeah.
You get me. You got to protect your energy. You got to keep your circle small. And listen to me, right? My circle is so small. I can count on one hand how many people that I've got like in my close circle. If you see what I mean.
Same here.
And only these people I can rely on. I trust them. I've got nothing but love and respect for them. Treat them like my brother. You know, etc. If you see what I mean, you know, like, you know.
That's right, you know. It's,
Yeah.
you know, it's all to do with like, you know, be honest. I love Josh. He's a really good friend of mine. He's really great, you know.
Like you got to keep your circle small. You got to keep your circle small, and the people that you do have around you, like I said, people who are loyal, trustworthy, honest. As well, because you've got to be able to talk to your mates and be honest with each other sometimes as well. I say, listen, mate, sometimes you might have to check one of your mates and say, listen, you're fucking up. What you're doing is not beneficial to you or what you've got going on. And sometimes people don't always want to have that conversation, but sometimes you've got to say, listen, bruv, I'm coming from a place of love. Because, you know what I mean, you're my mate, you're my brother. I see you as like, kind of like, almost like my family and shit. Like, you know, I want what's best for you the same way that you want what's best for you and you want what's best for me, kind of thing. So, like, you know, I'm just like, you know, sometimes you've got to check your mate and say, listen, you're fucking up. Get your shit together. What you're doing is not conducive to what you got going on. Don't fuck up what you got. You might have a good situation going on. Don't fuck it up. If you see what I mean, you know, you gotta keep your head screwed on in this world, and keep your eyes open. Not only your two eyes, but your third eye too.
Yeah.
Going back to that spiritual shit again.
And what is your third eye? What do you think it is?
Your pineal gland.
Yeah, but no, not just that. What do you think it is? You know, of course, it's your imagination.
It's, yeah.
Right, you know, because you close your eyes and you can see your imagination there, you know, and then you, like, even if it's raining outside, you can pretend it's sunny outside, you know, and just lay down, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's an amazing place, you know. And I think, like, if you're happy, you're going to have a happy spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and
you just got to stay positive.
Yeah.
You just got to wake up every day and say, listen,
don't give up.
I've got another 24 hours to try to do some shit again. I've got another 24 hours to you know, to keep going. You know,
I think
and to live and enjoy life and try to pursue what I, you know, my interests or what I, you know, my passions or what I got going on in life. You know, and you know.
Yeah, I think it's a shame so many people give up in life in a kind of way because they don't understand. You know, like, for instance, how to use their, you know, sort of be in love with their own spirit, basically, or make it beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, life can be very, very beautiful, but you've got to spiritually do it. You know, like you can, you know, like I mean, in my past, sometimes I've done silly things. You know, especially in my youth. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, I'm not going to do that again. You know, because like when you do something like if you violate someone or you do a crime, that crime is like a shadow to you, you know, it's going to follow you just like your shadow, day and night.
Yeah.
You're going to, you know, you're not going to escape from your crime,
Yeah.
basically. You never get away from it.
Yeah.
It belongs to you, you know, so if you do one crime and then another crime, that's another one that belongs to you. So you've got lots of bags on your back, you know, do you know what I mean? Like you're throwing your own villain crap into your own bag.
Yeah.
Your own past, basically. And then when you look back at your own past, you think, oh goodness, what a crappy past I've got.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you know, that's what, you know, I keep away from that. All I want to do is look at the dark. You know what I mean?
Listen, to be honest, right, mate, I'm the type of person, right, mate, that thankfully, I don't ever think about the past unless I'm reflecting on something that's a good moment, if you see what I mean. I've learned to accept everything that's happened in my past and let it go and moved on a long time ago, thankfully.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to find a real solitude and peace of mind and, you know, within myself, you know what I mean? And, you know, I just became at such at peace within myself that I learned to forgive everyone for myself, not only for them, but for myself mainly, you see what I mean? And learn to accept it for what it is and what it was, and just say, you know what? That I'm not gonna allow that shit that happened in my past to dictate my future.
Yeah.
And the progress that I've made as a person, as an individual, as whatever, so yeah, I think, you know, that's important too. You know, you can't allow your past to dictate your future. You can say, you know what, I can change, I can become a better person, I can really focus in life and be successful. I can, whatever the case may be, you know, you can. It's all about your mindset. You know, you have to, you know, got to have the right mindset.
You've got to get yourself out of the mud.
Well, all it takes, mate, is having the right mindset. As long as what you've got to do is you formulate your plan, strategize your plan, and then, you know, work out your idea within your head and what it's going to cost and what it's going to take to pursue whatever it is you want to do or whatever it is you want to create or whatever the case may be. strategize about it and come up with what what it's going to take to make it happen, and then execute your idea. If you see what I mean,
So sometimes I think you come up with some fantastic ideas in this world,
I think
I
think sometimes a lot of people are scared to take a chance on themselves, mate. If you see what I mean. I think sometimes people are scared to take a chance on themselves.
Personally, I do not believe in this business world at all.
Yeah.
I think I wish we lived on a different planet with a different system completely. Because this system's quite an old system, and it's sort of like, it's basically they invented money a long time ago.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
And slowly it's got more complex, and today we've got a very complex money system today, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Complex tax system or whatever, and there's lots of people working in different various jobs doing, it's got quite serious today, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a kind of way, We've got to be all calculators today, haven't we? Every day when we wake up, look at your bank accounts and see, do you know what I mean? Not all of us, like say some people are lucky enough to have a lot of money in their banks and they don't have to worry too much.
Yeah.
I think we're all spiritually different, like a little bit, like everyone's got a different amount of money almost, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how much you've got, Josh, whatever, and you don't know how much, whatever. When you see someone walking past town, you don't know how much of money they got.
Yeah.
The money, if I had, because I'm not Bill Gates personally or anything, right, which I was, but can you imagine having that much money and how much power it gives you, really,
Yeah.
I mean, money gives you spiritual power.
Gives you tremendous power.
Spiritual super energy power, because once you've
money
got money,
is currency,
Well, once you've got money, you can sort of be Superman almost, because you can sort of, like go to New York and experience it, and then come back and then you've experienced a dream about it in a kind of way, and you can do so many more magical things.
Well, isn't it funny they call it it's currency.
Yeah.
Money's called currency.
Yeah.
And where's the word currency come from? Current. And what is current? Electricity.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Energy. Yeah, real shit.
Yeah,
Real shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
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 But I think like money gives people more spiritual power.
Yeah.
To use their imagination even, they can make a film. If you've got enough money, you can make a good film.
If you've got enough money, you can finance and do whatever you want to do, as long, according to the law anyway, or even outside the law. But if you're going to pursue that, then we don't encourage that. But if you pursue that, just know what comes along with that. So that's up to you. But as long as you've got enough money, you can finance whatever you want to do within the confines of the law. And pursue your ambitions or your goals or your dream, your investment, your business, your restaurant, your clothes shop, your whatever, whatever it is that you do or whatever it is that you want to do or pursue. I think people need to have a little bit more confidence in themselves to know that they can manifest that. Sometimes you've got to use your job as a stepping stone to get to that point. Sometimes you've got to work, for a little while, save your money, just come up with a plan and know how much money you need to try to become your own boss, if you see what I mean. And sometimes it doesn't happen straight away, so you've got to know that you've got to keep going with it, keep investing and keep pushing your product as long as you believe in your product.